Disturbing new twist, police have unearthed bones from a house he owned in Hungary. And at the same time, one of his daughters has made an astonishing revelation. Our Europe correspondent Bill Neely reports.
Belgians have been horrified many times in recent years by ghastly events in their country, and they are again today by what happened in the house behind me. The Protestant clergyman who owns it has been charged with the murder of 6 members of his family here, including 4 children. The police thought they had their killer until his daughter began to speak. 71-year-old Andres Pandy was taken in handcuffs to Belgium's latest House of Horrors and questioned there about what happened to his 2 former wives and 4 children, and about the human remains found in his cellar. Investigators have been searching for weeks in 3 homes he owned. Belgian police joined by experts from Britain who'd worked on the Frederick West case in Gloucester. They had little to go on beyond the fact that Pandy's first and second wife, 2 sons and 2 stepdaughters had gone missing. Under questioning, the clergyman said he had nothing to do with it, but he couldn't explain why bones, teeth, ashes and slabs of frozen flesh were found at his house. Then his eldest daughter, Agnes, astonished detectives. She confessed.
She admitted that she killed her mother and a brother. And she participated in the killing of 3 other members of her family with her father.
Agnes Pandy says she shot her mother and helped her father to batter the others. The bodies were either dismembered or dissolved in acid. Agnes Pandy worked in the Royal Library. 8 years ago, she'd written to the Queen of Belgium about her slowly disappearing family and about her father. Police believe he sexually abused her as a child and as an adult, and that everything stems from that. It's big news in Hungary, where Pandy has a house and advertised for women to come to Belgium. One of them was his murdered second wife, but there may have been more, because Belgian police say the human remains they've found don't match any of the 6 missing members of his family.
So there are more than 6, you believe?
There are more than 6 victims. We think that there are more than 6 victims.
Do you know how many? Would you care to hazard
we think that there are 4 other victims, possibly.
This is only the latest in a series of scandals and brutal killings that have stunned Belgium. From the mass murders of 24 people in the 1980s, still unsolved, to the unsolved killing of the country's Socialist Party leader. From the kidnapping and murder of 5 schoolgirls in Brussels and the south, to the gruesome and unsolved killing of women in Mons. And now there is Mr. Pandy, his daughter, and their House of Horrors. The police will bring Agnes Pandy here in the next few days and question her at the scene of what she says are her crimes. Crimes that have once again left this small country reeling. Bill Neely, ITN, Brussels.
Well, now rugby, and it's Wales' turn tomorrow to take on the all-conquering All Blacks in front of a sellout crowd of 75,000, but they won't be in Cardiff. Instead, a huge chunk of Wales is moving to Wembley, a temporary home while their national stadium is rebuilt. And just down the road at Twickenham, England will be taking on the world champions South Africa. Here is our sports reporter, Peter Staunton.
Wales walked out for training onto the Wembley turf with the roar of a cup final crowd ringing out. The public address system giving them a taste of what the atmosphere will be like tomorrow afternoon. More than 75,000 will pack the place, the second biggest crowd of the year. 20,000 more than would have watched them in Cardiff. The players well impressed with their new surroundings.
The tradition just washes over you as soon as you walk out here. I know that may sound strange to people watching on television, but it's truly a great stadium.
It's a fantastic place, and it's filled with history, isn't it? And what a place to play the All Blacks on Saturday.
But the Welsh will need a lot more than crowd support. In 44 years, they've played each other 13 times. The All Blacks have won the lot. Last week, England played flat out just to keep the points total respectable against New Zealand. At Twickenham tomorrow, they'll have to be on top form once again, this time to keep the world champions in check. South Africa racked up 50 points against France last week. For one England player, the chance to renew old rivalries. John Bentley and James Small fell out on the Lions tour, the South African refusing to shake hands after one game.
James is an extremely passionate player. He's a very good player. He's played for his country many times, and you know, he'll be obviously pulling out all the stops on Saturday to play well for his country and make sure the South Africans win, as I will for England.
Now it's down to the Twickenham crowd to create a more passionate atmosphere than usual, especially if their team goes behind. Peter Staunton, ITN Sport.
And the main headlines again. A fierce debate is underway